Welcome to Daily Dictation. Every week we do daily dictation where you have a whole bunch of new sentences given every day. Every week we do a different topic. This week's topic is all based on using the internet. This allows you to practice your English. You get to practice your listening skills, your writing skills, spelling skills, and exercise your grammar knowledge. This video is for low intermediate English speakers. There will be another more difficult video with the same topics, different vocabulary, and more complex sentences available to you for high intermediate English learners. So let's get started with daily dictation. Let me tell you a little bit more about daily dictation. So I want to invite you to join me for daily dictation. There's going to be a new video every day from Monday to Friday. Every weekday you get a new set of sentences. They apply the same words but in different formats and in different sentences. So you get to see different ways that they are applied. There's going to be different topics each week. These topics are super useful because these topics will show up on IELTS exams, TOEFL exams, and other English proficiency. These are the main topics that are covered in all of these different exams. Like I mentioned before, 2 English levels are offered, so there is a more difficult level that will be available to you as well. Lastly, if you check the description to this video, you will see that you have a vocabulary list and practice worksheets available. There is one package a week that will have the vocabulary list and different activities related to it. So the vocabulary list will have all of the main vocabulary words, the definitions, and example sentences, as well as ways to practice. So that includes a multiple choice quiz that tests you on your knowledge of the meaning of the different words and how they're used. You also have a fill in the blank exercise. The fill in the blank exercise will again test your ability to know what the different words mean and how they're used within a couple of paragraphs. Lastly, you'll have a reading passage, and in the reading passage you can see how all of the different words are in a bigger text or bigger passage and see how they're used there and for what kind of context and topics. With this reading passage, you have a set of comprehension questions to test your reading skills, and you will also have an essay question if you want to practice your essay writing skills for the topic. At the end of this whole package, you also have an answer key, so you can see if you're on the right track or if you need some more practice. So let's talk about daily dictation and let's focus on the instructions. So for daily dictation every day, you will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence. You should write down each sentence exactly how you hear it, so it does involve you really using and practicing your listening skills. You also have to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization for each sentence. So keep in mind all of the different rules associated with that. Now, let's get started. On your paper, write down numbers 1 to 5. And I'm going to read each sentence 3 times and once more at the end. We're going to start with sentence number 1. Number 1, I created a new username for my email account. I created a new username for my email account. I created a new username for my email account. Number 2, she sent me an email with a link to a funny video. She sent me an email with a link to a funny video. She sent me an email with a link to a funny video. Number 3. I use a strong password to protect my online accounts. I use a strong password to protect my online accounts. I use a strong password to protect my online accounts. Number 4. He likes to search for interesting websites in his free time. He likes to search for interesting websites in his free time. He likes to search for interesting websites in his free time. Number 5. I always read reviews on the website before I download the app. I always read reviews on the website before I download the app. I always read reviews on the website before I download the app. Now I will read each sentence again one more time. Number 1. I created a new username for my email account. Number 2. She sent me an email with a link to a funny video. Number 3. I use a strong password to protect my online accounts. Number 4. He likes to search for interesting websites in his free time. Number 5. I always read reviews on the website before I download the app. Now, let's get ready to check our answers. Before we do that, I do recommend you listen again. If you found that this video was a little bit too difficult or a little bit too fast, you can watch it again, but adjust the playback speed. To do this, look at your video window, look at the bottom right corner. In the bottom right corner, you will see this icon. When you click it, you have an option to go to the playback speed. It's automatically set to normal, but if you choose a smaller number here, it will go slower, slower, and slower. I recommend starting here and adjusting it as you need it. I also recommend that you check the description for timestamps. This is helpful if you want to listen to a specific video or a specific sentence in the video and not every sentence again. So say, for example, you just want to listen to sentence number 3 again. Look in the description, find the label sentence number 3, and click the time that's beside it, and it will bring you straight to that sentence so you can listen to only that again. So go ahead and do that now if you feel like it's necessary. But if you feel like you did a great job the first time, now let's check our answers. Take note of everything you spelled correctly and things that you might need more practice on. Let's look at number 1 together. Number 1, I created a new username for my email account. Let's check number 2. She sent me an email with a link to a funny video. Number 3, I use a strong password to protect my online accounts. Number 4, he likes to search for interesting websites in his free time. Number 5, I always read reviews on the website before I download the app. So, how did you do? Comment down below and tell us how many mistakes you got, or if you got 0 mistakes and did a perfect job. I want you to look at each sentence. It's really important that you remember that for each sentence, we end in a period, which you can see here. Also, each sentence must start with a capital letter. Another really important thing to remember is that the subject pronoun I must always be capital. Even if it doesn't start a sentence, it must be capital. So if it comes in the middle somewhere, still has to be capital. Another thing is we can see the word email has popped up again today, and we see email written without a dash or hyphen. However, if you put a dash or hyphen, e-mail, that's correct too. Both are equally correct. However, if you put e-space mail, that's not correct. All of the bold words are words that you should practice more of because you will see them on the other days this week for daily dictation. Let's focus on those bold words for a moment. So here are some vocabulary words to review. We have website, search, email, link, browser, download, username, password. So please review the spelling of these words. These words are really common with this topic of using the internet. This is a topic that might pop up in an IELTS exam, in a TOEFL exam, or some kind of proficiency exam. You might hear it in a listening part of the exam. It might be asked to you in an interview, or you might have to apply it in a writing part. If you see it in a reading part, you will also need to know what these words mean. So I highly recommend that you review them. And you can do that by looking in the description and really practicing with the definitions. So thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for learning English with me and practicing your listening, spelling, writing skills, all in today's and this week's daily dictation. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Please again check the description for a link to this week's daily dictation worksheet. If you go and download the worksheet, then you'll be able to see all of the words, the definitions, example sentences. You'll have access to a quiz. You'll have access to a fill-in-the-blank activity. You will also be able to do a reading passage and some comprehension questions and have access to an essay question. So there's lots of stuff for you to practice your English skills and practice these vocabulary words. Again, thank you so much and see you later. Bye.